word dream in the picture because it's sorry, darling. It's just that word dream there in the background.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jackie Ives, your host for the Make Him Fall Madly in Love Summit Series. And today, you're going to be enchanted by a wonderful guest speaker, Michelle Buchanan, who's going to share her secrets and tools to help you discover how to attract love, keep it real, and make it last forever. Michelle, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, I'm just thrilled that you agreed to be a speaker because I'm fascinated about numerology, and I have to admit I don't know much about it, so hopefully our audience will find the value in numerology. I certainly want the download. So before we dive into the interview, I would like to sing your praises to the audience, let them know a little bit more about you. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
And so you, as I said, well, I don't know if I mentioned, but you're an international numerologist. You're coming here from Auckland, New Zealand, and you're also a certified Law of Attraction Practitioner and a Hay House author of the Numerology Guidebook and Numerology Guidance Oracle Cards. I love it. You studied numerology for 23 years. You were the resident numerologist for TVNZ's Good Morning and spiritual counselor for Women's Day magazine. That's incredible. And now you're providing personal readings, workshops, and seminars to clients all over the world. And so I'm just thrilled to have you here. Thank you so much for being here, and I'd love to talk about how numerology can help you attract lasting love.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. That was a wonderful introduction. I'm just grateful for this opportunity because numerology is a tool that can help us attract lasting love. So to have the opportunity to give advice and information about how that can happen is a privilege. So thank you, Jackie, for including me in this.
Wonderful. I'm excited about it. I actually went ahead and looked ahead at the forecast, so I have my number ready. But I know that's going to come in a little bit later. But how can numerology help us attract lasting love? And what is numerology?
Well, that's a great question. Well, numerology really, it's a metaphysical or a mathematical science of numbers where each number between 1 and 9 has an energy vibration, okay? And each of those numbers has its own set of personality traits, life lessons, has its strengths and challenges and future potential, as well as a specific destiny and life purpose. And the system of numerology I use is called Western Pythagorean, and it was created by Pythagoras, the Greek mystic and mathematician, 2,500 years ago. Now, Pythagoras also created the Pythagorean theorem in mathematics, and that's a mathematical formula that is still being taught in high school maths today. So I like to throw that little fact in there because what people don't realize is it is a mathematical science of the universe. And it's a code that each individual person has that is calculated from their birth certificate name, their date of birth, and the first and last name that they currently go by today. And that information gives us what I call 7 core numbers. And those 7 numbers are a blueprint of information all about ourselves and, of course, others. So it's a very valuable tool in helping us to understand ourselves and other people. So I think of it as a missing link if you're on a journey of personal development or if you're on a journey of understanding who you are, why you are the way you are, why you're here, and what you have the potential to achieve while you're here in this life. So to me, I think it's this amazing little tool that we have that a lot of people don't know much about. And so I'm thinking now is the time that we let the people know about this hidden information about themselves that can really help them in their life, especially when it comes to attracting love.
Fantastic. I resonate with everything you're saying, and I've been drawn to numbers over my lifetime, and I've seen a reappearing numbers over the last 10 years especially. And so I wanted to ask you about that, if you can tie numbers to reoccurring events or I don't know if you could answer that question. It's not on our list, but it just actually came to my mind to ask you this. And perhaps that's why we had our interview today. I finally get the answer to that question.
Well, recurring numbers or repetitive numbers that we see in our daily life are not actually numerology as such. However, I do cover that in my book because I do get asked I get asked that question almost every day.
Oh,
and I know a lot about it because it's numbers, but it's not actually recurring numbers aren't numerology, part of the numerology system, but what they are is they are messages from the universe. So whether it's a repetitive number that you see, or whether it's a repetitive red car you see, or something that's repetitive in your life, and what happens is we tend to notice numbers a bit more when we have a repetitive number, because we have numbers on a clock, we have numbers on our cell phones, on our computer screens, on our watches, we have numbers on number plates, there are numbers on receipt tools, our receipts from the till, the shopping till, the receipt. There are numbers everywhere in our life, so the universe tends to send us messages through repetitive numbers because we pay attention to them a lot more than we do anything else, and it's a symbol. Each number between 1 and 9 represents a whole bunch of different things, and basically it could be one of, for example, if you saw repetitive 4s. Now, number 4 has a variety of meanings, and so it would be a matter of seeing what those meanings are and being able to establish which particular meaning applies to you in your life at that current time. So it doesn't just mean that repetitive 4 doesn't just mean one thing. A 4 can mean, extra work required, be serious, persevere, don't give up, spend more time in nature, in the outdoors, build a foundation for your future, save your money. So there are a variety of meanings for each individual number. And in my book, I show you what all those individual meanings are. So you can have a look at them and see, when you see at the time in your life when you are having experiences with that repetitive number, you will know which one of those meanings those numbers are talking to you about. Okay, and so most people tend to see repetitive ones like 111 or 1111, and that's universe or angel numbers sending messages to you. In the case of 111 or 1111, it's manifestation. Pay attention to what you're thinking. Watch your thoughts at all times, because you are manifesting big time under that vibration.
Wow, I have to get this Numerology Guidebook. That's what you're referring to, correct?
That's right, yes. The recurring numbers is right at the back of the book.
Okay, great. Yeah. So thanks for clarifying all of that. You actually answered my question, because it is ones, and I was drawing something similar to that, but I'd like to get more clarification, so I'm going to grab the book to do that. And so how can numerology help us to attract love? So now that we understand that numerology, it's a mathematical, like you said, formula, a code, how can we use that in our everyday life to attract love?
Oh, good question. That's a great question. Well, there are two sides to answering that question. The first side is numerology deals with two areas. One are the personality profile, or the 7 core numbers that are all about us as a person, or an individual, or somebody else as a person. And numerology can help us in terms of, as an individual person, understanding who we are, and understanding the nature of another person. So when it comes to attracting love, with the law of attraction, one of the key ingredients for successful manifestation is to maintain a high vibration consistently as possible, okay, as a human being. And how numerology works is, these 7 core numbers are the blueprint that tell us what we need to do to be in alignment with our soul purpose, with our life purpose, and our pre-chosen destiny from our numbers. And when we understand what that destiny is, when we understand what that life purpose is from our numbers, and adjust our life accordingly, in other words, embrace that natural flow of energy that our numbers are leading us in, and that natural direction or flow that we've been guided in naturally by the universe. If we follow that blueprint, it will raise our vibration, because we will be in alignment with our soul's destiny. Now, by doing that, when our vibration is consistently raised, we're in the zone of manifestation. And so, in one way, numerology can help us to attract love by following our blueprint so that we can be in alignment, so that we can attract love into our life with the law of attraction. Another way it can help is its deeper self-understanding. Because the more you understand who you are, the more you understand why you're here and what you have the potential to achieve here, then again, that's enhanced personal development. It's focusing in on you so that you can understand and love you. And the more you understand and love yourself, the easier it is for another to understand and love you. The more you focus on yourself and build your own relationship with yourself and raise your own vibration, you become a manifestation magnet to love, okay? And that's why it's very important. It's more of a self journey, but the more you dive into that journey of yourself, the easier it will be to attract someone else, because you're focusing on you rather than focusing on someone outside of you to try and help you feel complete. So your numerology blueprint, understanding it and embracing it, will help you to feel complete and feel in love with yourself, which is what we want. And the second half of numerology that I said there was another side or another part of numerology that can help us to attract love are what I call the forecasting numbers. So the forecasting numbers are numbers that aren't really so much about us as a person and who we are and what we're destined to do, etc. The forecasting numbers are telling us about specific currents of energy that we are in at a given period of time. And that forecast will tell us whether it's a favorable time to be looking for love, or whether it's a certain time to maybe focus on career and finances, or to focus on our spirituality and spend time alone, whether it's a time to heal, whether it's a time to focus on family that may need us. And so numerology is a wonderful tool, very helpful tool for attracting love in terms of the forecasting as well, to calculate what cycle you're in, what number, what month you're in, what day you're in, so you know if it's a favorable energy to go out there and make love your number one priority, or whether your numbers are saying, you know, money and finances and career are your priority this month. And of course, the more you focus and adjust yourself in alignment to that natural flow of energy, the more easier it is for everything to flow, simply because you're in alignment with that natural flow of energy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Everything that you said has made perfect sense, and I'm thrilled that you are sharing this with the audience, because it's so important that everyone understand how the law of attraction works, because I think that that's something that's not widely known.
No, both of them, like numerology and the law of attraction. Like, a lot of people think numerology, like, for example, when I first, somebody asked me 23 years ago, a friend said to me, what do you think of numerology? And I said, it sounds like a load of rubbish. I didn't know anything about it, but it just sounded like, I found it hard to believe that our name or our date of birth, you know, when it's added up, could mean something. I thought, well, that's just looking for something that's not there. But it's actually extremely accurate. A lot of people don't know anything about it, when it's this really helpful tool that is just sitting there at their fingertips, that if they knew about it, like, honestly, you'd be surprised how many people that then discover it are like blown away and see how much it improves their life, because they didn't realize it's just sitting there, but we don't know about it. So again, thank you for this opportunity to make that information known.
Yes, I love that you use the word discover. It's like all this information is there out in the universe for each of us. In fact, it's in us. It's innate intelligence. We all have. It's our legacy, and it's our birthright. But then we discover before then, not just not aware of it. Then we have this discovery, like, wow, and then we can become powerful once we come into the understanding of how powerful the law of attraction is. Since you are an expert in that area as well, would you mind sharing with the audience something about the law of attraction?
Absolutely. Well, the law of attraction is simply the fact that we have the ability to manifest things by what we think and believe and what we feel emotionally. So basically everything in this universe has an energy vibration. This table in front of me has a vibration. It's just a heavy, slow, dense vibration. But our human body is a vibration or electromagnetic field. But our thoughts and our emotions have the strongest vibration of anything in this universe. And what happens is these thoughts and emotions that we think and express on a daily basis, they have a frequency to them, and it is expressed and set out to the universe, but it doesn't just disintegrate into nothingness. It gathers momentum. And when we repetitively think and feel certain things, it expands that energy. And it gets bigger and bigger and snowballs until it actually becomes a physical thing. And that means on the positive that we have the ability to manifest things or attract things into our life simply by giving them the majority of our attention. And so the law of attraction states we attract what we focus our attention on the most, meaning it's got to be like a repetitive thought or emotion in order for you to really get that momentum to attract it into your life. And so there are certain tools that we can use that enable us to give the majority of our attention to things that we want, okay? And some of those tools are affirmations. You know, it's not so much the word itself that creates the magic. It's the fact that at the time we're saying those words or an affirmation such as, I don't know how, I don't know when, but love is on its way. And it's not the actual specific words that attract love. It's the fact that you are giving attention to that statement, that you are thinking, at the time you are saying that affirmation, you are thinking and believing that love is on its way into your life. And so when you're doing it, you're giving attention to that thought, which will start attracting it in your life. And so therefore, affirmations are a very powerful tool. Visualization is incredible because visualization is simply daydreaming, fantasizing, imagining your life as you would like it to be. And when it comes to visualizing love, see, the universe or our subconscious mind, it can't tell the difference between an imagined thought or a thought that is a reality of our experience at that present time. It can't tell the difference between an imagined thought and a real thought. It just gets an accumulation of thoughts and sends evidence back of those thoughts to us in our everyday life. So what visualization is doing is almost like tricking the universe. It's imagining what we want before it's happened so that we get enough of those thoughts out there, the universe will send it back to us. Now, when you're visualizing to attract love or a partner, you don't need to know exactly who that person is in order to attract them into your life. Here's a little one I like to use, and I often tell my clients about. Have the vision in your mind of sitting across a table from someone. It can be a dinner table, it can be at home in your living room, or it can be in a cafe somewhere. But either way, you're just sitting face to face opposite someone you know is the perfect match for you. Now, you don't need to see their face. You don't need to know who they are, how you met them, how old they are, you know, what year it is, what day it is. You just know from more of a feeling than anything that they are the complete, perfect vibrational match for you and that it feels right, and it is right, and they get you and they understand you and you trust them and they trust you. And you don't need to put a face to that. It's an energy, it's an emotion, it's a feeling. And if you were to just visualize that simple scenario for as many days and hours and minutes as you can possibly do that, the more energy you give it, the more you will attract it into your life. But you don't need to bog it down with all complicated details such as, you know, what year is it, how did I meet them, how much money do they earn, what's their name, what restaurant are we sitting in. Just fast forward to the end result. And the end result is simply you and this person connecting, having a conversation, spending time together in love, and you both know that it's right. You know, and visualization, very powerful tool. Other powerful tools are vision boards. A vision board is simply another tool that while you are creating a vision board or while you are looking at that vision board, you are giving attention to what you want.
Right.
Other things are, you know, writing a gratitude diary or an evidence diary. Another little tip is with regards to an evidence diary. You can have a little diary that writes down evidence the universe is sending you that love is out there. Now, we don't necessarily need to put in that diary big chunky achievements such as went on a date with an awesome person and they rang me 3 times since and it's looking good. You don't have to have big chunky evidence like that. It can be something as small as I sat on the bus today, a person of the opposite sex caught my eye, looked at me, was checking me out, gave me a bit of a smile, and that was that. Now, nothing happened with that. You probably weren't even attracted to that person, but it doesn't matter because that scenario is evidence that somebody out there noticed you. And I'm telling you, small things can end up being big things when you notice them. So if that was me, I would be putting that in my evidence diary. Even though I wasn't attracted to that person, I'll never see them again, but someone noticed me. So you've got to be aware. Because what happens is if you note these kinds of things down in an evidence diary, however big or small, and you read them over, say, maybe a 2-week period, you will see evidence that the universe is sending you little snippets and opportunities. And when you recognize them and note them down and then read back over them over a period of time, you recognize that there are things going on. Even though you may not be in a committed, harmonious love relationship at the time, and it feels like nothing's happening, if you were to read that evidence, you would see little things are happening. And when you read that evidence, it just gives you more inspiration. It keeps you motivated. You see what I mean? And what does it do? It raises your vibration. And when your vibration is raised, you will attract love into your life more easily. And so there's, can I go over the steps? Because I just think this is the most valuable information. So affirmation, start off with journaling or just somewhere in there. The affirmation, then the visualization, and then I love that you mentioned the gratitude. Just the gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. And so just giving thanks in advance. And then the passion, the electromagnetic power of passion, and just believing that it's going to show up for you. Just that emotion of belief. You're just without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to have what you want. It's going to draw it to you much faster. It will. And also another side, like the flip side of that is, what are we going to do when nothing's showing up? Here's the thing, that's all good. It's some of the most challenging parts of these kinds of exercises are how to maintain a high vibration when nothing is happening, or when you're attracting unfortunate circumstances such as bad experiences, or no one's noticing you because you've got a low vibration. And some of those things are important to know. How do we get ourselves through in the meantime? And a little tool or a tip for that is to sit down and spend some time writing down all the good things about yourself. Now, it doesn't have to be anything big and grand. It can be something as simple as I'm a good listener, or I make a magnificent apple pie, or I'm funny, or you see, it can be anything, big or small, but you need to come back a step and you need to note down and spend a lot of time focusing on the things you do like about yourself and not dwelling on your shortcomings. Also celebrate
your vibration up, right? So if by doing that, when you're not experiencing instant manifestation, just to continue journal, to keep your vibration really high with positivity, so that you keep that channel clear, so that when it does line up, it can come right to you.
That's right, and to enjoy your time alone. Like, these are little tools to do while you're on your own waiting for someone, is to first of all get on with your life, enjoy your life as the single person that you are. For all you know, this could be the last time in your entire life you'll be single. You don't know. You could be like this. You're moaning about it. You're wishing it away, but it could be the last time you'll be able to watch whatever movie you want, get up whenever you want, go and hang out wherever you want. So make the most of this time alone, and also make peace with being single. So a lot of people don't attract love because they're still caught up in the fact that no one's come along. They're resentful, they're bitter about it, they're still twisted or upset or gutted about a relationship that ended, and they're still living in the past of the remnants of the failure of the relationship prior. And so these are all things that have got to do, strongly to do with law of attraction also. You know, make peace with being on your own. Don't feel like there's something wrong with you. Don't dwell on the mistakes you may have made in the past. You can't hold on to the betrayals of the past and the injustices of the past. You know, bad things can sometimes happen to good people, but you need to have faith that good things are going to come back and that you will be taken care of in the end. You know, and
So
also...
I was just going to say, so that's just so important, because if you do take your focus off what you want and you focus on what you don't want, which is to be alone, which is in focusing on that you haven't got love in your life and you're still single, you're actually attracting more of the same. Is that right?
Yeah, well, what can happen is we do attract what we believe the most. So in other words, when it comes to a topic, like for example, you think of the topic of love and relationships and the possibility of having one in your life. And so what will happen is the universe will govern your experience based on what you believe the most. So you've got to think of it as like a set of scales. Okay, you've got the topic as love and your belief about love, and then you need to think of it as yourself and your beliefs about love as a set of scales. And the universe will judge you, if you like, or your experiences. You will attract the type of experiences based on whatever side weighs the heaviest. And so you need to turn around and evaluate your thoughts and beliefs on a daily basis and see, what do I really believe about love? Do I really believe there is someone out there for me? Do I really believe that love is on its way? Do I really believe I'm lovable? Do I really believe there's someone out there that could possibly be a good match for me? Or am I spending the majority of my time dwelling on the fact that I'm single, feeling like a failure or a loser, being fussy and looking at all the negative things about people that you're not attracted to, instead of noticing people that even if you're not attracted to them, you can still notice someone of the opposite sex and find something nice about them. And so I'm not attracted to that person, they're not really my type, but boy, they dress well. And look at that beautiful smile. You know, if you go through your life with seeing the eyes through the eyes of love, seeing your life through the eyes of love and seeing the positives, you know, rather than you just got to monitor yourself and see what you really believe and what you're thinking as you're going through the day, and try and do deliberate things to weigh those scales in your favor. And that's where, you know, visualization, affirmations, vision boards, gratitude diaries, evidence diaries, they're all, you know, tools that will enable you to weigh down the scales in the side of your favor, you see.
That's so fabulous. You are so wonderful to share. This is just critical information that I really want to help convey, and thank you for so perfectly putting it out there to everyone. And so going back to the numerology and tying that in with the law of attraction, you were talking about how you can use numerology to in your relationship. Can you tell me how that applies and how you would do that?
Yeah, you can. Well, first of all, if we're at the stage of trying to attract a relationship, then you will know there are certain times that you can do that. So it's being aware of the cycles in your life as to when to really give it your all and when it's time for you to spend more time on yourself or on business or family or other areas, okay? The other way is that if you're looking for love, to understand more about yourself through your numbers, to know what you need from a relationship, to help you get clearer about what you have to offer and who you are and what you can bring to the table in a relationship based on your numbers, and also where your numbers are leading you, what your future numbers are. You may think that you're going to want to settle down and have like 4 kids, and your numbers may be about to tell you you're about to go traveling for a chunk of time. Like, it's about being aware of who you are and where your life is leading you, so you know what you can bring to the table. But then numerology can also help if you're already in a relationship and you've found someone, getting to understand that person better, getting to understand what they need, what makes them tick, what makes them function, and to see if that harmonizes with your own number pattern. See if you're both also, in terms of forecasting and future numbers, are both of your paths leading you in the same direction? Or are you going to be going this way in 10 years' time and they're going to be going the other way? And so I think the most important way that numerology can help improve an existing relationship is by deeper understanding of both parties and what they both need, how they're wired, and how they can work more effectively together as a partnership. So I think that's a really powerful way to improve a relationship when you have met someone.
Great, and so I love that you've tied this together with this beautiful free offering, the free gift that you're offering our audience. And so can you talk about a little bit of that so that our audience can get in touch with you, take advantage of this wonderful offer, and begin to manifest the life they want through numerology and working with you, Michelle?
Sure. Well, the free offer is a monthly forecast that they can receive that tells you what's going to happen in the month, what to focus on. We'll be calculating your personal year number. Now, this is a forecasting number that we'll be doing. The personal year number is not one of the 7 core numbers. It's one of the forecasting numbers that is around you for the year. But each month it will tell you what will happen to you for the month so that you can have an understanding of what's going on. Also, there is a link to a page on my website that the forecast is on, but if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a section there on life path numbers, and you can calculate your life path number, which is one of the most important of your 7 core numbers, and it will tell you all about who you are, some of your personality traits, and what your life purpose is. And so you can also do that for other people too. If you've met someone, you can have a look, work out their number, and see what you think about that.
Thank you so much. I actually went ahead and checked out my June forecast, and it was spot on. You're absolutely accurate. Everything you shared with this audience today is just, like I said before, it's critical that we get this out there about the law of attraction, numerology, and thank you so much for the work that you've done in order to become an expert in this area so that you can help others. And you're just showing up in such a beautiful way. You're such a bright light, an incredible woman, and I am eternally grateful for what you shared with us here, and just want to thank you so much for being a part of the summit.
Oh, what a sweetheart. Gosh, you are. Everything you just said about me applies to you as well, so I feel like the same. And I'm just honoured that you included me, because any opportunity to share this information is my passion. So thank you for allowing me to do what I love and to be included in this. So thank you, Jackie. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, and I want to thank the audience for signing up for our wonderful video summit. And on that page that you got in your email box, you'll be able to find the link to Michelle Buchanan's free gift if you want to take advantage of that right away. And we'll see you again on Making Fall Manly in Love Summit. Bye-bye.